Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Secretary, welcome. And let me first begin by thanking you for your assistance to expediting the release of $220 million for the Washington Bridge. That is very critical to our state. It really is the linkage between one side of our capital city, Providence, and the other. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary.
I would love to come up in the summer and check that bridge out.
I think you should come up. And by the way, I think you should also check out our restaurants. We have the best restaurants in America.
I was there for the first time with my wife this last September and was shocked at how beautiful your great state is.
Thank you, sir. But let me pose a question that I think all of my colleagues have. That is, there's still significant amounts of DOT money that have not been released. It was properly awarded, authorized, appropriated, et cetera. Can you give us an idea of when and will all of these funds be forthcoming?
Yeah, so I do think it's important to know what was left for me, and I know that all of you, when you get an announcement, you want the grant agreement so you can build a project. But between Obama and Donald Trump, from an election day to inauguration day, Obama team announced 48 grants. And then from Trump to Biden, the Donald Trump team announced 100 grants. And Pete Buttigieg, between election day and inauguration day, announced almost 1,000 grants. 1,000. I told that to Senator Schatz as well before, but this is a lot of grants that were announced. And so the workload is real. And if I could just show you a chart, I have a chart here that will indicate how many grants we have grant agreements on. And these are fiscal years from Secretary Buttigieg, but you can see at the start of even the last administration, they weren't moving as fast as we're moving. So I'm committed to getting through this as quickly as possible. We're at a pretty good clip, and I think it's going to continue to pick up as we work through the process. And I think there's technology that we can deploy to make this go even faster.
There are some concern that these projects not being evaluated on engineering and other aspects, cost benefits, but there is issues of climate change and social issues more than economic issues or transportation issues. Are you including DEI in these evaluations and climate change?
Yes, in regard to in regard to the grant agreements that the grant agreements that we have out now and the announcements, I am. And some of the requirements, if you want, I'll share them with you, and I can read some of them to you if you want. But
no, I think this is a very realistic question. Most people don't consider infrastructure, roads, bridges, et cetera, to be DEI qualities, nor do they, after all the work that's done by DOT, by EPA, as something that would be challenging to the environment. In fact, most of these projects, I would suggest, are designed to cope with changes, and you can call them anything you want.
So there are a lot of requirements in the grant agreements in regard to DEI and in regard to climate change, and there was adding a lot of costs and time onto the projects. So what I've done is tried to pull those out and say those requirements are no longer necessary for you to do your project, and I think I'm going to save you money and allow you to move quicker on your projects that are so meaningful to your communities.
So what you're saying is you will eventually release the funds, but you will modify the arrangement so that they don't have to do certain things. Is that accurate?
Well, so in regard to the announced agreements, but the announcements, but we don't have grant agreements. We're drafting grant agreements that don't include these issues.
But you're committed to fulfilling the grant.
Oh, listen, yeah. I don't.
Another way to say this is that you're not going to defund projects because you object to language you consider to be DEI or
No, we're just trying to pull out that language unless it could not be rescoped or pulled out, and it's just fundamentally something different. No, this is easy to pull this language out and save you money and time.
Again, I think the faster, and you do have a challenge before you, the faster you can get these funds to the states, the better off.
As evidence, I've gotten a couple to your state pretty quickly.
And you have my thanks for that. My time is dwindling to seconds, but look forward to working with you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you, Senator.